Factor follow-up segment tonight. Should gays be allowed to bring their overseas partners to live in this country? Very sympathetic article in the struggling Los Angeles Times yesterday makes that case. But because the federal government does not recognize the legality of homosexual unions, it's not going to happen anytime soon. With us now is the Executive Director of Immigration Equality, Rachel Tiven. Since 2000, we've been trying to get this passed, and the law would read, the law is called the Uniting American Families Act, and it would allow gay Americans to bring in their partners from abroad who aren't citizens if they are in, quote, committed intimate relationships with the intention of a lifelong commitment to one another, correct?
Correct.
Okay. But you know what? How are you going to prove that?
Well, what this would do is it would give gay and lesbian couples the same opportunity that straight couples have to prove that their relationship is bona fide. How do they prove it, though? They do it the same way that straight couples prove it. A straight married couple who applies for immigration benefits has
a marriage license.
They've got a marriage license, but it doesn't end there. They have to prove, in order to get a green card,
right,
you have to be able to show that the relationship is genuine, that you're committed to one another, that you're financially interdependent, that you share a home, that if you have children, you're raising your children together, that your families know one another. And all gay and lesbian couples want is the same opportunity to make that standard of proof that straight couples have.
Okay, but you're running into a problem with even bringing them into the United States, in the sense that if, say, somebody American goes abroad, this is the LA Times article, that some guy went to, I guess, England, and he met an English guy, and he wanted to bring him back to Venice, California, and the authorities said, no, you're not bringing the guy back. I mean, he can come for vacation, but he's not staying. And the guy said, no, I want him because we're going to get married and all of that. And look, you could set up a scam and charge people a lot of money when they're not gay. And then, see what I'm talking about? Because there is so much marriage fraud, you know that. In the heterosexual area, people used to get married and, oh, yeah, we're living this, that, and the other thing. And they're not. It's all financial arrangement. I know people who did that. But this opens it up to anybody saying, I'm gay, I'm going to bring in Harry, and Harry pays the guy $50,000 to become an American. Come on.
Well, there's actually much less fraud than you would think. It's much harder. It really is much harder. In fact, there's an article in today's New York Times about fraud that pointed out that there's much more fraud in religious worker visas than there is in marriage. What gay and lesbian couples want is the same opportunity to meet the standard of proof.
But you can't meet the standard of proof unless somebody's in there in your bedroom, and it's not going to happen.
The immigration service
say you're gay and you're not, and charge $50,000 to bring in somebody. And what if it says who intend a lifelong commitment? What if they break up after 3 months? Do you kick the guy out who comes in with the gay partnership? Does he go?
The real issue, though, is couples like Mark and Fabian, who are a couple I know from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They've been together 17 years. They're raising 2 children. And when Fabian's visa runs out at the end of this year, they're going to be forced to choose
Well, he can apply like anybody else, Fabian can. He can apply to stay.
He can't apply to stay with Mark as his sponsor.
No, he can apply to stay like anybody else can apply. I've got roots in the community. I've been here a long time. I've got 2 children.
That's not a basis if you can't demonstrate that you've got.
I've got a good job. I'm a professional. Sure. Look, I'll give you the name of an immigration lawyer that'd probably get Fabian on those grounds to stay. But look, you see my point here. If you're going to allow partners who intend, are you going to deport them if they break up? Is that going to be in the bill?
The proof that they would have to show is the same proof. They've got to show financial entanglement, they've got to show joint bank account, they've got to show both names on the lease, they've got to show family pictures. The situation right now is that American citizens are being forced to choose between the person that they love and their country.
Now, the situation is gays aren't allowed to bring in their partners because they don't have any legal standing in front of the federal government. But the guys or the gals can apply on their own to come here, and that's what the situation. Leahy is your big sponsor, right, from Vermont? Patrick Leahy, the senator?
Senator Leahy is the lead sponsor in the Senate.
You know, with all due respect, Ms. Tiven, I don't think you're going to get it through with the immigration chaos the way it is anytime soon.
Well, I think that what we're seeing is that there is an enormous amount of
press
here.
Yeah, press is on your side, for sure.
But the couples that are being forced to choose between their country, Americans being forced to choose between their country and the person they love, are desperate for this bill to pass.
Thanks, Ms. Tiven. We appreciate it.